Right, Bridtown TV, please watch, like, subscribe. We're joined by the gaffer Mike Thompson after a 1-1 draw on the road to Sheffield FC. What are your thoughts?
We'll take that, mate. I think on the balance of the game, I think both gaffers would probably say that a draw is a fair result. The only disappointing thing for me is that we've restricted them to next to nothing in respect to chances. We've looked solid again, and it was one really free header at a set piece, and it's set pieces like that we've looked really strong with in the last few weeks. So you could look at that as the one negative, but I think positives, we're away from home, we've drawn, a bit of magic from Griff. I think the goal was outstanding. And the subs that came on did extremely well today and changed the game for us. They did well when they came on. So yeah, 1-1, balance of play. It seems like it's the result that's warranted for both teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say set piece, because obviously it was a set piece goal today, and it was one at Cleethorpes yesterday. Yeah. We say that's quite unusual for your team.
Well, yeah, I think it's been one of our strong points. On the flip side of it, Ben, I think we had a conversation before kick-off today. We've had 76 corners, and we've not scored. We've not scored from one this year. So we need to be more threatening on the flip side of it. But yeah, it's a little disappointing because that's been one of our strengths this year. But we'll chalk it off. It's a good point on the road, and we're back home next week.
Yeah, a couple of new faces in the club. Let's start with Danny Finch, the winger.
Yeah. So Dan, I think I said in my notes that when I came to the club, there was 3 lads that I knew had the ability to come along and step up with us, and I've got all 3 of those guys now. I had to be patient with Joey Norts and with Finchy, but they're here now. He started today. He was really effective in the first half, and just tired a bit in the second half. But when you look at what we've brought on in relation to the front 4, Broads did very well last week against Clee, and he tired. And when we can bring players like that in off the bench, I thought he'd give us another dynamic, him and Jack Yates, when they came on today.
Yeah, definitely. And the other one, he'll be familiar to the Bridtown faithful, Matty Dixon.
Yeah, Matt is a lad that I wanted at the club in pre-season. We didn't want him to not be at the football club, so to get to last week in September and get him over the line, he's going to be a real bundle of experience that'll support us at the back and just make us more stable as we go on. So yeah, really happy to get Matty in, and I think he was vindicated today with how well he played.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, a few faces not here today. Joe Norton, where was he?
Yeah, so Joe picked up an injury against Cleethorpes, and he played through it, and it's really sort of ballooned up underneath his big toe. He's black and blue and struggling to stand on it at the moment, so he wasn't able to train at all this week. He didn't train Tuesday or Thursday, so we can't have him playing. Denny's a little bit more serious. We need to wait on Denny and see what happens with that, because he's not in a great way. It was a movement in his knee that is not natural. We don't know if it's a ligament issue yet, but we've got to sit tight and see how he recovers. Eddie Rogerson trained this week.
Right,
he trained on Thursday. No issues with that, so I'd be expecting him to be back.
Back in for Saturday.
Yep. Yeah. He'll train twice this week, and I'd expect him to be back as well. Yeah,
and obviously we had Andy Norfolk back, so we've had a few obviously injuries, but him coming back and he stepped into that number 9 role and he's done well today.
Yeah, he did. Andy's clever, mate. He's really clever, and we knew, with how long he'd been out injured and doing that role as a lone striker, he was going to tire as the game went on. But Andy gave us everything, and he's very clever in how he pulls in a centre half. He won us free kicks. He won us the free kick that led to Griff's goal. So what he brings in that position, we know what we get from Andy. A little bit more luck in the first half, and I think he has 2 opportunities where he can get shots away. So no, I'm not unduly worried. I think we need more goals in us. I think we've sorted out things at the back and how more structured we are at the back. I still want more goals out of us, so that's something that we need to work on. But yeah, positives are that we've drawn the game away from home, and it's a good point.
Right, so next up is Brighouse at home.
Yes.
What do we know about them?
Well, they're on a great run of form at the minute. I think they've won the last 3 or 4. I ain't seen the result from today, but they've also got a game on Tuesday night, so we'll try and get that analysed. But looking after ourselves at home, I think we know what we can do on our pitch with the size of it and the shape that we're working on. So we'll look after ourselves, and if we can get them watched on Tuesday, we will do.
Yeah, like I said, so it's Brighouse at home on Saturday. So if you've got nothing on Saturday afternoon, then get yourself down to Queensgate and support the boys. Right, cheers, Mike.
Thank you very much.